Y'all know what's going on. Time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, back with part 2 of my interview with Justin Mayberry, right? He was just about to drop something on us, you know what I'm saying, something that he did out there in the street, you know what I'm saying, a funny story, but a story that I'm sure that we'll all be able to learn something from, that he was involved in one time or another. The statutes of limitations done ran out, so we ain't worrying about what's going on out there with this, right? But look here, I'm going to let him go on and tell this story. I might jump in here and there and intercede, right? But the reason I do this, y'all, I like y'all to hear some of the things that we do, you know what I'm saying, when we was involved in stuff like that. And I want you, when you're listening to this story, think about, you know what I'm saying, how outlandish that a person would have to be, you know what I'm saying, to get involved in some of the stuff that we get involved in, right? Because look, when you getting involved in the streets and doing something, you got to tell yourself everything is going to be okay. Knowing it ain't. Knowing it ain't. You know what I'm saying? But look here, bro. Go ahead on and break it down, man, and let them know. Come on, share one of these stories with us, right?
Man, I was on bond.
You was out on bond?
I was out on bond.
Word.
There was this Mexican guy.
Uh-huh.
And so the guy wanted some powder cocaine.
He wants some powder.
Powder cocaine.
Yeah.
So at the time I had some other stuff, but I didn't have what he wanted.
Right.
So, I went to the trunk.
Yeah.
And I looked in my little at the time my car was my home, the den. Everything,
at that thing.
yeah, everything was in the car. I'm on bond. I ain't got nothing but the little car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I went in my trunk, got a couple of hotel soaps.
Yeah.
I went to work with that thing.
Man.
I went to work with that thing.
Yeah.
As he was sitting there waiting on I said, Migo, I'll be there in a minute. I'll be there in a minute.
Yeah.
So I broke by 3 of them down. Them not the little small little soap, not the fresh scent small soap.
Yeah.
They kind of about a little smaller than the steak soap they have.
Yeah, what we get in here, yeah.
Yeah, so I chop it on down and got them all good and flaked all up. And I went on in there, and during that particular time, prices was, sky high. It was coronavirus season was going on. So I went in there, took it on in there. He looked at it, you know what I mean? His eyes got big, you know what I mean? Migo, you want a drink? Yeah, let me get a drink, but let's take care of this business right quick, because I got to get ready to go.
Yeah.
I said, my car run, I got to take care of some business. He said, oh, don't worry, everything is straight. We cool. We gonna party and all this and that. I said, well, look, man, I'm gonna go on and give you this. He was like, what you want? I said, I looked at it and I thought about it. I say, now my friend, this is good grade A cocaine. This is some good stuff. I said, it's high here. It's high here. A lot of things going on. I done took it from like a couple of seconds to or maybe a minute, 2 story about what's going on in the streets. How the prices.
Prices too
so
high. Yeah, it's a drought.
He was like, he looked and got in his pocket. He reached in his pocket. He was like, Migo, I want it. What you want for it? I said, Migo, I don't think you can be able to afford it. So he was saying, okay, my friend, this is what I'm going to do. He said, told me to hold his bill. I set his bill on the refrigerator, the small mini refrigerator. Yeah, he counted out. He got to count his money. Counted out 200. He said, with that, I said, no, Migo, I told it's grade A, it's good dope. He said, he counted out 2 more. I like, no. He counted out 2 more. I looked at, I said, no. So he counted out 1 more. He said, that's all I got right now, Migo. I got 900. I grabbed it like I was in the crap game. I grabbed it, I snatched it all up, I put it in my pocket. I said, here, that's yours, I'm gone. Yeah. So by the time I got it in the car, put it in reverse.
Yeah.
He wasn't running. He came out, Migo. It's not right. I said, yeah, it is. And I took off running. I took off driving, going on.
Yeah, you kept moving.
Yeah, I kept going.
Did you know him though?
No, I didn't know him. No, I didn't know him. Like I say, and it was our East,
It was
our East.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure he probably still looking for you.
Well, he probably
You know?
is. He probably is. I done grown a beard now, so he probably ain't gonna know who I am.
Yeah, I already know. I remember, man, something like that, man, back in the day. You know, that oil gel.
Yes,
you
sir.
Know, that oil gel,
Yes,
right?
sir.
You know, if y'all don't know, right, y'all like to listen, that oil gel, I don't know if it still do it or not, right?
It will.
But it had that numbing effect. You know how oil gel do, you put that on your teeth, right? So back in the day, right, you know, we really didn't have nothing, you know what I'm saying, that was popping off. You got to, like bro said, make something out of some soap, peanuts, anything to give the look of that dope. You know what I'm saying? But then you take that oil gel, you put that oil gel on it in case they want to taste it, so it'll have that numbing to it. You feel what I'm saying? But you got to worry. Don't put too much on it because you know that oil gel got that smell.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So one of the guys, he was shaking the spot one time on the ball field, and I pull up on him. I said, man, what you doing, bro? He said, I'm taking care of some business, OT. I got some things going on right here, right? I said, something came in today? He was like, nah, ain't nothing coming in. I said, so what you doing? He said, man, I'm just taking care of some business. Don't get out of my business, OT. Like that, right? So I go on. Now, keep in mind, I'm the 9 on the compound, so everybody's business is my business. You feel what I'm saying? Especially if it's going to bring some heat to us. You know what I mean? So I get on down, though, and I go tell my number 2. I said, man, go check on bro, man. I think bro up to no good over there, right? So bro, he go over there, and he hollering. He said, what you doing, bro? And he tell him, you know what I'm saying? Because he feel like bro ain't going to really come down on him like I'm going to come down on him. He tell bro what he doing. So he put something in bro here, bro come back over. He let me see it. I'm looking at him like, dang. I said, oh, okay, man. I said, they buying that? He was like, yeah, they buying it up. I said, so they buying it and coming back? He was like, yeah. I said, no, ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Yeah.
So I said, tell bro, come over here. Bro, come over here. He hollered at me. I'm talking to him. I said, man, you got repeat customers, man. He said, Joe T, they coming back and getting it, man. He said, look, he said, one thing you need to know, man. He said, you older than me, but you don't know nothing about the dope game. He said, man, if they think it's dope, it's dope. Now, he tried to send it to me now. Yeah. He tried to make me believe it. Yeah. If they think it's dope, they going to get high off of it, right? Yeah. I said, bro, I don't care what you selling. This is peanuts. It's, you know how we get the salted peanuts on the conversation?
Yes, sir.
He done crunched them down, man, and it looked like dope. It's brown.
Wow.
It's brown and everything. I said, man, them folks ain't smoking that, man. Them folks ain't smoking that, man. He said, I don't care what they doing with it. You know, as long as they keep buying it. Oh, but the man sold out, man. But anyway, you know how it go, though. The next day, we had a whole lot of trouble.
That's the game.
But that's how the game go, right? But I was saying all that to say this, right? A lot of the stuff that we get into, right, you know, we don't really think about the other end of it, right?
Consequences.
We don't think about the consequences of it. What would you say to dude right now if you ran across him? You know what I'm saying? You done got him out of that 900, you done sold him some average soap.
Hey, Migo, that was my brother's my brother. It wasn't me.
Yeah,
hey, Faco.
Yeah.
Man, you know what? The way I am, how I'm feeling now, I mean, I'm always on the defense. Yeah. I don't care how humble I done became. I mean, you have to be. Yeah. You know what I mean? Whether it's in or out, in here or out of prison. Yeah. Man, you know, people came along and it first of all, I gotta see, you know what I mean? You know, I gotta size them up. Right. Gotta see if he got a pistol or anything on. Right. You know what I mean? Right. But you know, if he come up to me like, you know what I mean, man, you shouldn't have done that, so and so. I'm like, man, look, hey, my bad, I was in a bad spot. I was in a bad spot then, man. But if he come, yeah. I mean, you know, now he had more, so it really didn't hurt him.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Anything goes.
Yes, sir.
Anything goes.
But you know, anything other than that, then you already know. You know, it ain't nothing else to talk about.
So what would you say to somebody right now, though, all jokes aside, right, because you finna get out, what would you say to somebody that is out there taking care of their business now, thinking that that's the best option for them? What would you say? Because I think one of the biggest reasons prisons don't work, now listen to me out there now, in my opinion, one of the biggest reasons that prisons don't work, not the way that they would like it to work anyway, is because it doesn't offer an option to the game. And let me say this. I understand that a lot of people are going to say that, you know, the vocational classes and all the other types of classes that they give us are options to the lifestyle. And what I would argue is that all of those things are great, right? But none of those things penetrate our minds and says, okay, let me try this, let me try that. Those things are certificates that we get for taking classes. Everybody's geared towards trying to make parole. You feel what I'm saying? It's not about me learning an actual trade that I'm working in, earning money before I leave. You feel what I'm saying? I need to be working in an environment where I'm making real money before I get out of prison so I can get used to that type of life. You feel what I'm saying? Not getting the training for that and then only applying that training when I get out. You understand what I'm saying? I applaud the effort, but it's only halfway. You feel what I'm saying? So that's why I say prison doesn't offer you an option to the game. If I have an option to selling drugs while I'm in prison and I can make decent money, I don't have to make the same amount of money that I was making when I was selling dope. But paying somebody 17 cents, 50 cents, 59 cents, $1 an hour, right? And come on now, that's nothing.
Pennies.
It's pennies. I'm doing work of what a person on the streets would be getting minimum wage or more in here doing the job that I'm doing, but I'm being paid slave wages. What is that really teaching me? It's teaching me that my value, it means nothing to nobody. And I don't want to hear this idea of you're in prison, you're being punished, and that's what you get. Now you're taking the most profitable years that I have as far as working. In my life, you're taking those and saying that during this time, because you're being punished, this is what you're worth. And that's how people are internalizing that. And then when they get out, they say, no, I'm finna get it. You have this idea of trying to catch up. You want to catch up and make up, right? But if you were in here being punished because you're separated from society, that's your punishment. But if you were able to work and do the things that you really should have been doing on the streets, providing for your family, providing for yourself, paying taxes, doing all those things, I think once you completed your sentence and then you got out, you will be more productive. You feel me?
Most definitely.
It don't offer an alternative to that while you're here. It's all geared toward when you get out, you better do better. We give you these tools to do this when you get out. Give me those tools and let me use them while I'm here. You see what I'm saying? So what would you say to somebody that had that same frame of mind that you had when you were in that first time? You feel what I'm saying? And those prayers that you had that were not sincere, what would you say to them after all of these years that you've done off and on? What would you say to them as far as if you were trying to convince them to leave the game alone?
Well, for one, man, you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink.
Right.
What I would tell a lot of guys and women, anybody that's out there hustling, you know what I'm saying, because it has a due date on it. When
what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has a due date on it when everything gonna be
it's time to pay the piper.
Yeah. Some people out there, and before I answer the question, some people out there don't have no education.
Yeah.
That's one.
That's true.
Someone don't have no work skills, somebody never had a job.
That's true.
But there's still no excuse to try to do better. Now, I don't knock nobody for getting that paper. You know what I mean? I don't. It ain't what you do, is how you do it. Mm-hmm. But the thing about it is, the way this world is now, and the way the laws is changing now. They been playing for keeps, but they playing for they playing for your grade.
But here, now I'm gonna call you on that, but I'm gonna let you finish. Go ahead.
They playing.
Go ahead though.
They playing for your grave now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They doing that now. So man, to tell people, man, to get out the game, man, and basically, man, whatever you don't have as far as education, go get it. Right. I got it.
Right.
I'm almost 50 years old. I got my GED last year.
Well, that's great.
So, and just as well as work skills, I mean, you sometimes, man, just as well as, when what's the word I'm looking for? More like, I'm going to say this here. when you try to do something, people put on this certain mask to impress or to sell themselves.
Okay.
Now, me personally, certain jobs that I didn't have, no education then, no, I wasn't experiencing this. I sold myself. I told myself, man, I tell you what, if you show me one time how to run this machine, I guarantee you by the end of the week, I'm gonna have it mastered. Why? Because I was determined to get this job. You know what I mean? I needed it. You know what I mean? I was hungry then. So, there's no excuse for a person to go get their education. There's no excuse for a person to.
See, you all over the place.
I know
let me
that.
just call you. You all over the place. You just said, for one, and I respect it that you're honest. I do.
Okay.
I just think that you're wrong. Because you said, okay, let me ask you, I'm finna set you up, okay?
Okay.
I'm letting you know right now I'm finna set you up, okay? Check this out. You care about your people, don't you?
Yes, sir.
I know you do. You care about your family too.
Yes, sir.
Remember that. Remember that, right? Now, you care about your family, you care about your people. There's no justification for saying to your family, because that's who you're talking to when you say that, whether you believe it or not, or your people, because that's who you're talking to when you say what you just said, whether you believe it or not. To say, I ain't hating on nobody how they get their pay. Why is that important? Because if a few minutes ago in the first episode, you said that you have come to appreciate what's important in life, which is what?
Family.
Your family,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, when you achieve that level of maturity, which you spoke about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you do care about how they go about doing things. Because what? Because you just said a few minutes ago, because these people are playing for what? Keeps. All the way to the grave.
That's right.
Right? So when we know that traps are being set, right? The system is set for us to fail. That's because a lot of us believe that. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I believe it's true in a whole lot of instances. You understand? If we know that, then why are we still saying, bruh, get yours this way? You understand what I'm saying? No, we have to be united in saying, bruh, I feel you, but Because if you do that, you're going to set something off that's going to last for generations. It's not going to just hurt you. It's going to hurt those that come behind you. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That look like you, that think like you, that have some of the same experiences as you have. So we have to do something about that. We have to stand united and strong in saying enough is enough. I know these folks ain't straight. You feel what I'm saying? And whoever you want to call them folks. You understand what I'm saying? Because it ain't just white folks that people want to just say that. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. So when we get to talking about that, it's a system that's set up to disenfranchise. You feel me? But if you keep walking, see, I have mercy for those individuals that are ignorant to what the system is doing to them. But when you come into the know like you and I have, ain't no mercy on. Look here, bro. You know.
Yeah.
You know. So don't recommend to somebody. No, don't get me wrong. I ain't trying to chastise. You know what I'm saying? You just as old as I am. But we have to be careful about the message that we're giving to our people. We have to be careful about the message that we're handing to our family because they listen to you.
Yeah.
They listen to you.
Not only does they listen and not mean to cut out, they're watching you.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
So when you say, ain't no excuse, go get your education, but then on the other hand, you say, I ain't knocking nobody for how they get their money.
Yeah.
Contradiction. Contradiction. You can't do that. You can.
Well, it's...
But ain't nothing straight about that.
No, it ain't. And truthfully, held myself accountable. You know what I mean? It kind of came out the wrong way, but...
No, it came out how you said it.
Well, okay, you know what?
It came out how you said it.
It is what it is, and I said what I said.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
I will say this here. It could be in different terms, but there's, I mean, you know...
There you go trying to equivocate. You know what I'm saying? We ain't going to do that on Doing Time with Joe. We ain't going to do that. It is what it is, bro. But again, don't get me wrong. You understand what I'm trying to say.
I understand.
I think that we have, when you get our age, and especially after we've done all the stuff I know all the stuff that I've done. Let me say that, I'm going to speak for me. All the things that I've done, I don't get to claim change and then just go on with my life. I have to clean up the mess that I made.
Most definitely.
By being honest about what I did, honest about the lifestyle, honest about the ideology that I drunk. You feel what I'm saying? And hand it off to other people. You feel what I'm saying?
Accountability.
I have to, man. And yeah, I get it, man. That lifestyle, man, I was in it, fully committed.
I mean,
but I know that it was wrong. And there's no way you're going to get me to say anything that's supportive of the game anymore, even though I still got a lot of partners, man, that still do what they do. And when they talk to me, they be like, Joe T, shut up, I don't want to hear it. Well, you gon' hear it because I care about you, man. You gon' hear this. And I understand that you feel like this is all you worth. They be like, no, see, they don't like when I say stuff like that because I do attach what you do to how you see yourself. Now, whether you understand that or not, you know what I'm saying? I tell my partner that. I said, whether you understand that or not, that's what you're doing. Your self-worth is attached to how you conduct your life. If you see your life as crap, you're going to do things that's going to always have you in this particular category, even though you're going to try to dress it up. But you know how they say, you put lipstick on a pig, guess what? It's still a pig.
Damn right.
You see what I'm saying?
With
so
eyelashes.
Just because you're a dope boy and you got on a $1,500 suit, you feel me? And you going to the Super Bowl, you feel what I'm saying? You still a low-level dope boy. High-level, I don't care if you El Chapo. You somebody that's preying on your own people for your own well-being. That's what makes you feel good. Oh, my God. You need a hug. That's what you need because you really hurting on the inside. But that's what it is. You done suffer something, and then you done got to the point over so many years that crying out for help. Nobody listened until you got to a point where you've done something really drastic to get somebody to look at you and say, see me. That's what that has led to. Like, I'm going to give you an example real quick, and we're going to wrap this thing up, right? You remember that girl in Alabama, the nurse girl? Y'all, after listening to this show, check this out. That girl in Alabama that said that she saw this little child being kidnapped, walking on the road, and then she ended up faking her own being kidnapped.
He came to Nashville.
I don't know that they came to Nashville.
No, she thinks she came down.
She ended up going back home, but wherever she went, this is the point I'm trying to make. Let me make this point. The point I'm trying to make is this. She did all that, she said, because she wasn't getting enough attention from her boyfriend, right? They ended up charging her, filing false report and stuff like that, right? Faking her own kidnapping and stuff like that, right? When I saw that and it all came out, I said, you know what that is? She crying for help. Her self-worth is attached to her getting attention from this man. You feel me? That's all that's wrapped up in that. See, now look, go back before that. I bet she did something to try to get some attention then. It didn't work. So she kept doing what? Escalating, right? And as she kept escalating her behavior to get attention, she got more drastic with what she was doing. And now all of a sudden, she see a child being kidnapped on the side of the road. She fake a kidnap then. But here's the thing. When you're doing stuff like that, you don't think it all the way through. When she said she was being kidnapped, if you're being kidnapped, somebody's going to call your people, say they want some money or something like that, or they're going to sell you over in Honduras or somewhere, you know what I'm saying, to be some slaves, sex trafficking, something like that. She didn't think it through. So all of a sudden, a couple of days later, what happened? She walks home, ends up at home saying, I've been free. See what I'm saying? She didn't think it through. But here's the thing, bro. It's the same when you're talking about somebody that's in the streets. Our behavior escalates. We become drug dealers. We become murderers. We become rapists. We become all of these things because our behavior is escalated. We become robbers. You understand what I'm saying? All because we're saying, see me. Y'all ain't seeing me. You feel what I'm saying? And we do all of these things because our self-worth is attached to what we're doing. We feel like crap. We feel like we're not being seen. So we do things to get attention because that's what makes us feel like somebody. You feel what I mean? But anyway, look here, I done too much lecturing. Y'all know how I get out there. I done got on my soapbox. I want to thank you, bro, for sitting down with me, taking the time to do this. You know what I mean? I know I might have attacked you a little bit, but you got tough skin. You can take it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But look here, as always, I want to say to y'all out there, I really appreciate all of y'all listening to my show. If you got any comments, hit me up in the comment sections on my YouTube. And if the opportunity presents, you'll get a response back and whatnot. But as always, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all.